That's our goal, is we want to help everyone,
Yeah.
but some people just don't want to hear what we have to say, what you have to say, even though they need to hear it. Maybe they're just
Yeah.
not in that stage of their life.
They hear what
Maybe
they want to hear.
they hear what they want to hear. That's evident
A
with
big
you and your
one. That's a big
menopause
one.
talks right now, right? You're talking about
Yeah.
people not needing supplements and things like that, and people are like, "How dare you say you don't need HRT?" Blah blah blah. It's like you're not talking
I
about
mean,
that.
I think maybe people don't understand that HRT is not a supplement.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay. Well, it's a
But
fucking
that's the
pharmaceutical.
problem, right? Because we have medical doctors out there
I
promoting this.
That's the thing. And you also
Yeah.
have people like coaches that are promoting this kind of stuff
Yes.
that shouldn't be.
Yes.
That's why, I never talk about that stuff. I never talk about prescriptions, drugs, because it's not in my wheelhouse.
It's outside
Why
of our
would
scope of
I?
fucking practice.
But it is scientific, evidence-based facts that your diet and your lifestyle will 100% help you with your menopausal transition. Okay. But that doesn't mean it's going to be null and void of any symptoms. But it's going to make it a lot easier for you instead of trying to take care of the shitstorm amongst your fucking heavy drinking, your sleepless nights, your anxiety, your lack of fucking movement, and your shitty diet.
Welcome to Cut the Crap with Beth and Matt, the world's #1 no bullshit health and fitness podcast.
Are you ready to cut the crap with your diet and exercise, get strong as fuck, and build a healthy relationship with food? Then you've come to the right place.
Let's go. If you'd like to support us in the podcast, join our Patreon where you get exclusive content, which consists of monthly workouts you can do at home or at the gym, monthly challenges that are either strength, habit, or mindset based, and access to over 100 plus low-calorie, high-protein, family-friendly meals. These are all designed by a professional chef who is certified in nutrition. These recipes are already in MyFitnessPal for easy fucking tracking. New recipes are also added each week.
We believe that fitness is for everyone, so this is our way of getting you started on your health and fitness journey at a price most everyone can afford. So what the fuck are you waiting for? We'll see you in the Patreon. Nerdle! Hello, my friend.
What's up, Nerdle? 200th episode!
200! What is up with that? Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you. Congratulations to you, too. How many years is that? And how many weeks? How many weeks are in a year?
Math. So
math. I'm very bad at math.
We started I think our first episode was August 2021. Mm-hmm. And we started off, I don't know if you remember, Beth, but we started off by releasing episodes every couple of weeks.
Did we?
That was what we did at first. I think maybe 3 or 4 episodes into it, we're like, you know what? Let's be more consistent with it. Let's cut a release schedule, drop a release schedule, and then stick to it. And the rest is kind of history. Because at first we were like, well, we don't know. We don't have a schedule. We're just going to go out and do the damn thing, you know? We decided to get a little bit more serious about it. Not serious about it, but
we took action without knowing what we were doing?
Yeah. Well, exactly. Imagine that, huh? It's like,
we didn't wait for the perfect time to start a podcast?
No, it was the perfect time, but it was never the perfect time because we didn't know what we were doing, you know?
No.
So
not at all. I've never podcasted in my fucking life.
Right.
I mean, I've been on them, but
Yeah, which is funny because I don't know if people realize this, but I had my own podcast before we started podcasting together. It was the Matt Lar Fit Show, funnily, uniquely named enough. But you were actually a guest on that podcast.
Yeah.
With me. That was so much fun. That was like one of our first collaborations that we had done.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
Very, very cool.
But yeah, here we are. 200th episode. It's wild. What a wild ride it's been.
I know.
So we kind of like some fun things to talk about here today. I think just we kind of want to use this episode as like a reflection episode for us. Wow, it's been 4 years. I think first and foremost,
right.
Let's just acknowledge and honor the fact that we are 200 episodes into this, and that is no small undertaking.
Not in the podcast world.
Not in the podcast world. Majority, I don't know the exact statistic, but like 90+%. Almost most podcasts out there fail and stop after 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And we've done that, 20 times over now.
It's hard to be consistent.
It's so hard to be consistent. And that's one of the reflection points that I wanted to talk about here today for sure, was the consistency. Because that's one of the biggest things that we have to our I guess our claim, our big claim is that we've just been fucking
Yeah.
brutally consistent,
Yeah.
4 years ago, we hit record on our very first podcast. You were in your kitchen. I was in my office, with zero clue what we were doing. Just a couple of no bullshit coaches who were sick of all
Yeah.
the bullshit out there, that wanted to help more people, that wanted to collaborate
Mhm.
and have fun doing it. And
Yeah.
now here we are, 200 episodes later, still talking shit, still ranting, but a lot more people are listening than when we started 200.
Yeah, a lot more people than I actually think. It's just wild to me,
Mhm.
who listens to our podcast that I would never think. Like people like Natalia, who's actually going to be coming on our podcast. She's like, I just so happened to like run into your podcast and I just started listening to it. And she's like, I loved it so much. And she didn't really know, like, I don't think she looked to see who it was or something. And then she's like, then I realized it was you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how
Yeah.
fucking crazy. I've
Yeah.
heard that before too. Like
Yeah.
people running into our podcast and just started listening to it.
I always assumed that people came across our podcast because of our social media content and things
Right.
like that, right? But yeah, people regularly find our podcast and then come and find our content, which
Yeah.
that's
Which I don't ever think like that.
uh-huh. Same. Especially because first starting out, that's how we had to grow. It was by promoting it on our social medias and collaborating and
Yeah.
things like that. Um,
Hmm.
So yeah, today is not just about like us, and we're gonna definitely talk about us and like maybe some like lessons learned, some reflection points. I've definitely jotted down a few things for us to talk about here today, but it's also, I think, about our listeners.
Hmm.
Our clients that are listening, or people that are now clients that were just once listeners, all the lurkers out there that listen but never interact with us. The
Yeah.
people who have unlearned all the toxic bullshit with the fitness industry right along beside us for the last almost
Hmm.
4 years now.
Yep.
And one thing that we always talk about is the importance of community and support
Hmm.
and having that support system and people that are
Yes.
in this journey with you. And I know that's one of the big things that we've accomplished with our podcast up to this point,
Hmm.
which is really cool. And also, let's see, we've got a Patreon as well along beside our podcast, which we never really, planned on that as right off the start either. That was just something that happened naturally with people loving the podcast and wanting more. And
Yeah.
like, wow, we have a real opportunity here to help more people, to help so many more
Hmm.
people. Our
Yeah.
big thing is making
Fitness for everyone.
fitness for everybody, baby. And
Yep.
I think the Patreon has really served that purpose with the affordable help that we offer people with our monthly challenges, with our workouts,
Workouts. Yep.
and the recipes that are also an
Hmm.
option in the Patreon.
Yeah.
And I think the most rewarding part of the Patreon, I don't know if you'd agree, but I think so, is the meet and greets that we have
Oh
ended up
yeah.
doing.
100%. Yeah.
You know, we've helped thousands of people, thousands of listeners from our podcast alone, but then we've met, 100 plus
Yeah.
people, hundreds of people really, on our meet and greets that we've been doing now for the last couple of years,
Hmm.
which is really fucking cool. And the Patreon, of
Yeah.
course, supports that. So
Yep.
without the Patreon, that
We
wouldn't
wouldn't
be
be able to meet you
possible.
guys. Yeah.
Right, right. Um,
100%.
we've it started here in Ohio, with our very first one. And then we expanded to Florida. We do that every year now when you're out there in Florida. We've gone
Yeah.
to
Maine.
Maine, Oregon,
Yeah.
Michigan. We went to Hocking Hills here in Ohio. We're going
Utah.
to Utah. How could we forget
We need
Utah?
to get like a little map and like a cut the crap world map, right?
Put our
US
little
map and
nurdles on
be
there.
like where we've been.
Yeah,
For
for
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
That's
And
funny.
yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Um,
Hmm.
so I think first, before we kind of get into like any kind of reflection points or anything like that, like what's new
Hmm.
with you? What have you been up to this past week since we talked last?
Yes. Not too. Oh, you know what?
Oh, nerdle down. She just lost her headset, taking her headset off or her sweatshirt off.
Nerdle had to take off her sweatshirt and had a
Mhm.
little headset debacle. So
Well, you're walking while you're recording,
I'm
so
on
you're
my
probably getting a
walking
little wind.
pad because you guys know my life is steps right now.
Steps,
So
yeah, fucking
wherever I can get a step,
Steps
I
McGee
get a
over here.
step. Fucking
Yeah,
Stepper McStepperson. Um, okay, what's
Steppy
new?
McStepperson.
What's new? We signed a home equity loan yesterday.
Okay, okay.
So Uh, we have a very old house. For those that don't know, I've been kind of showing like some of
On
the
this
stuff that we've
episode
been
of This
doing.
Old House.
Yeah, right. Like the house was built in the 1930s. It's like a Sears Roebuck, like I don't know what they call them. Like a catalog house. You used to be able to
Catalog house. Yeah.
buy these houses on, in Sears catalog.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got like built-ins, but everything is falling apart, like the furnace. We had to get a new roof. We need to get a whole new heating system because we have a very old furnace that's not safe.
Mm-hmm.
So things like that, we had to reshingle, which we're in the process. We had to get new windows because the windows were so old. Some of them wouldn't go up. And it was letting a lot of draft in. Some of them had broken panes. They were so old. Some of them had like the wooden pulley with like the rope.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we got a loan because I can't be spending all my money and all my cash. So
Mm-hmm.
it's expensive shit.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
For things that you have to do,
To
when you own a
keep
house,
your
it's
house.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's upkeep. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, our kitchen drawers are falling apart. It's like one of those things where you pull it and it's like the drawer falls. You're like, oh, let's just grab more wood
Fucking mine is
glue.
doing that too. I get
Fucking
my
wood
house.
glue,
My
you
house was
know?
built in 1913. I get it.
Yeah, and it's like I'm to the point where like I'm sick of like opening a drawer and having it fall to the fucking ground and having to use wood glue.
Yeah.
Um, so we have a water issue in our basement. There's just things that need to be done. So I think
Yeah.
it's very exciting that we're going to start to like fix the stuff that we need.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So does that kind of further your commitment to staying in that house for the foreseeable future then?
yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't. It's in town. It has
It's a
sidewalks.
great
It's
location.
near schools, near coffee shops. In Maine, that's kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
We were able to get a really big home equity loan because when we bought our house, it was only 130K. It's
Mm-hmm.
about tripled in value right now.
Yeah.
So
With the way the market's
why
gone
move? Yeah,
and Maine, I think Maine, especially since COVID, I think
people start moving
housing
here.
has really taken off since then, right?
Yeah, it's hard to find places to rent here. It's to buy, it's very overpriced. So what's the point?
Yeah.
It's I might as well fix up this old house.
Instead of buying something. Yeah, yeah, for sure. And that's got
And
more sentimental value to you,
it's got
right?
character. I love the house. It's just
They don't
it
make
needs a
houses
lot.
like that anymore.
It needs a lot of work.
That's such a cool concept. I looked it up. Those houses are called Sears Modern Homes, is what
Yeah,
they were called.
yeah, yeah.
Mail order catalogs
Yes, mail order
included everything
catalog
to build
home.
a house, from lumber and roofing to
Hmm.
plumbing and hardware, and they were all shipped by rail to the buyer's local train station.
That's
Sears
so
sold them
funny.
from 1908 to 1940,
Yep,
with
makes
home
sense.
sales, with some sales continuing until 1942. Many of these homes are still standing today and are popular with architectural historians and enthusiasts. So, like,
Hmm.
that's really cool. It's like a piece of history.
Oh, it really is. And apparently, like our house is like the talk of the neighborhood now. Like everyone's like, "Oh my God, look at what you're doing to the house. Your house, it looks so beautiful. Whose idea was this? Who's the architect?" And my husband like,
Fucking Sears, bitch.
well, it's me.
Okay, now going
But
all the new
you
stuff.
know,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
like the windows,
The
the black on
designing.
the
Yeah,
shingles, the designing part of it.
yeah.
Which I kind of wanted that, like, I guess architectural, what is it called? Modern architectural look. I don't even know the word for it, but it has like black frame with wood.
Oh, I love
And
that look. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
so that's what we've been doing. But
Cool.
anyway, so it's
Cool.
fun. It's
Yeah.
fun and it's very loud.
Yeah. As we've known from social media, when you trying to get just a minute here and there for peace and quiet to make content or work or whatever it is.
And it all started with my office.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Converting the garage into the office. Hells yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's kind of been, I don't
It's
know, and then
exciting.
this deficit thing, but that's just I'm, really a robot
Cru-
right now. So
Cruising along. Yeah.
cruising along. I
Hmm.
got a Hume if anyone's interested. I am not affiliated, FYI, but I have
What
been
is
looking
it?
into I got a HUME scale, a Hume scale. It is the one that you pull it up and you hold it in front of you. It was a write off. So I'm like, you know what? It's fucking I don't have to pay for it. My business does, or I do anyway, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Um so
Oh, it's like a bod pod kind of
yeah, and I saw Tara LaFerrera and one other of my
friend
coach
of the show.
friends, um, what's her name? Dr. Ashley Dwyer. Two of them actually got a DEXA. and compared it to the Hume, because that's their thing. Hume's like, it's just like comparative to the DEXA. And they're like, okay, well, I'm going to do the DEXA and then I'm going to do this and see if it's comparable.
Yeah.
Well, both of them did it and it both was almost exactly the same.
Wow, that's impressive.
So I was like, you know what? Why not? It's just
Yeah.
data. It's fun. And
Mhm.
so I got it last week and it's
Mhm.
pretty fucking cool. It's pretty cool to see, especially because I'm in this right now and I can see like my weight spiked today, right? Which
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had data. It showed that I was retaining water,
Mhm.
more water than I normally do.
Sure.
And so
Sure.
I'm like, this is so fucking cool to see that.
Yeah.
So it shows that
Awesome.
I'm how much body fat I have, how much muscle.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right
Um,
now. Looks cool.
I
Not a bad
honestly,
price for what it I mean, compared to, like, a bod pod,
right.
and having
Yeah.
that convenience of that in your own home, that's awesome.
Yeah. It gives a lot of data, like a health score. I mean, obviously metabolic age, my metabolic age is 40. I have almost 68 pounds of skeletal muscle mass. My body fat percentage is 18.8% currently, which is about
Woo!
right.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it says low.
Yeah, anything
Um,
between below, like, 20% for a woman is
well,
considered
that's where I'm headed, and that's
yeah,
the whole right. And
right.
it makes sense right now. And
What you're saying, dick skin thin?
thick skin thin is happening. I mean, I'm heading down to 18%. Under that is going to be soon, which is your yeah.
Yeah.
Um, it says how much muscle I have in my like arms and legs, and how much body fat I have on my arms have about 18.3% body fat, which is said it was standard. And then it says my trunk is 17.8% body fat, which it says is low.
What you gonna
And
do with all that junk? All that junk up in
both
your
my
trunk?
my right legs have 14% body fat and about 18 pounds of muscle,
Ah, look at you with the lean legs,
you know?
muscular legs, the
So
toned legs.
toned legs. But it's cool. So, I do it every like couple days with this thing. I don't do it every day.
Cool.
Yeah.
Another way of,
It's just
tracking
data,
data and
guys.
measuring data. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool data.
But apparently it's pretty, you know, I'd say not too far off from getting a DEXA scan,
That's
apparently,
cool.
according to the data, which is cool. And I don't
Mhm,
really buy anything for gimmicks or anything unless I know and see people that I actually trust that I know don't sell things normally ever,
mhm.
unless they actually like something.
Yeah,
So,
cool. That sounds
hmm
promising, exciting. I'm looking forward to hearing how that goes for you, when the more data you get.
yeah.
Sweet.
How are you doing, Matt? What's going on with you?
Doing pretty good. I just started a new training block for running. New
Okay.
training block. I my first training block since my half marathon back at the end of
Ooh,
April.
that's fun.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and say this and throw this out there. I'm not training for a race. Because
Okay. I was going to ask.
I decided that I was not gonna do that marathon in the fall. I have my own goal, and I'm not gonna talk about it publicly yet, but I'll tell you privately because I'm kind of doing this for me.
Okay.
Um, people are gonna be along for the journey. I'll still be talking about it, but my end goal, I'm not gonna really talk about that yet, publicly. Just because this is something I'm just really excited for and really diving
Mhm.
into. Doing a few things differently with my training. I will say,
Mhm.
part of my training is gonna be me getting fast as fuck, boy. So, um,
Nice.
looking forward to that. So, yeah.
Nice.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay.
Just dealing with all the summer stuff with Riker. Riker's here. Riker's living with me 100% of the time. I don't know if I
Okay.
mentioned that before, but he
No.
is. So that's been a nice adjustment. And it's been fun too. He's been working with his mom's boyfriend. He does my his mom's boyfriend is like a jack of all trades, handyman, so like
Mhm.
in the last couple of weeks, he's been putting in bathroom shower tiling, and he's been
Good for him.
painting, and he's been using, a sawzall and things like that. So he's learning real skills, which is really cool. We just had
That
Father's
shit
Day over the
he'll have that
weekend.
shit for life. That's awesome.
Yeah, real life skills, and because he's interested in getting into the trades, and I fully
Mhm.
support him getting into the trades. I think I think we maybe talked about that last week,
We
or we at
did.
least did privately, about this whole generation, my generation in particular, was just so forced to go to college, like that was the only
Mhm.
option. So we need more
Yeah.
tradesmen. So I'm excited for him for that.
Yeah.
I taught him how to change the oil this past weekend in my car.
Nice.
So yeah, a lot of fun. Had a
That's
great Father's
awesome.
Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, dude, maybe we should get into maybe some things from the past 4 years of our podcast. What do you think?
Sure.
Okay. So I kind of one of the things we want to do is like reflect a little bit. And I thought it might be fun to talk about like some of the things like we've learned or maybe reaffirmed over the past, almost 4 years now, but definitely 200 episodes.
Hmm.
So I've got a few of them. We can talk a few of them, and maybe you have a few that come to mind for you. What do you think?
Sure.
Cool. First thing, we kind of already alluded to this when we first started, that you don't need a perfect plan to get started, right?
Hmm.
We didn't have a perfect plan to get started with this podcast. In fact,
Hmm.
you don't even need a fucking plan to get started. You just need to get started. You need to do something and throw
Right.
some shit against the wall and start going off of that,
Yeah.
Like when we first started out, we had no idea what we were doing. We truly didn't. And that was just like with our podcast. It was like with when we got started on TikTok, when we got started on social media. We did all of those things without having a plan. We just got
Hmm.
started and we challenged ourselves, right?
Yeah.
I think when you got started on like TikTok, Jordan Syatt challenged you like just to do something for 30 days or something, right?
Oh yeah. It was
Um,
30 days TikTok challenge.
yeah. Like for our podcast, we didn't know what we were doing. We had no plan. We just knew that we wanted to help more people and have fun doing it. And I
Hmm.
think that's one thing that, it's not necessarily a lesson learned for us. We've known this, but it's definitely reaffirmed this over the last 200 episodes is
Yeah.
there is no such thing as perfect. The perfect time to get started. Perfect plan doesn't exist.
Hmm.
Your perfect plan is going to fall to shit really, really quickly anyway.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that's why you just need to take action and get started.
Yeah. Don't
What do
let
you think?
perfection be the enemy of good enough.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Um,
Hmm.
Another one, and I think we can definitely like all of our listeners would probably agree with this is you doing it messy.
Yeah.
You just got to fucking do it messy. Showing up.
Yeah. I mean, have you listened to any of our old podcasts ever? I don't think I've ever listened to a full episode. It,
No,
no.
I mean
I,
I do a lot. I did a lot of the editing before, so I did, but
I guess.
I don't enjoy it. I don't like listening to myself and to ourselves
Uh,
talk.
yeah,
The
I
same way
can't
on
do
social
it.
media. I'm like, shut the fuck up, Matt.
Yeah, when I see my videos, I'm like, shut the fuck up, and I scroll. I'm sure people do that to me
Mm,
too. But
yeah,
I'm doing it
yeah.
to my fucking self, and it's funny. I think it's funny. I'm like, bitch, shut up, and I just like I can't hear it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
But
yeah. So,
got to do it messy. Take
yeah,
imperfect action. Um, Showing up for yourself in some form or another is it's so imperative, and that's what we've done with our podcast is we've consistently
yeah,
showed up for our podcast, for our listeners, and for each other. It's
mhm,
that like the for the most part mentality. It isn't always going to be
yeah,
pretty. It's not going to be perfect. It's never going to
hmm,
be perfect. Just
yeah.
what matters is that we show up.
And I think our communication has been key throughout this whole thing as well, because we
Yeah.
kind of like. I think I don't know if it's what I've learned about podcasting, but it's just like once it starts to become not fun, you need to do something. You need to be like, okay, like we both started without even I think telling each other we were both like getting really exhausted but from interviewing
Yeah. Yeah.
for a
That,
while. We were doing so many interviews, and you guys, there's a lot of work that goes into those interviews because you can't just be like, oh, this person's showing up, and you do no research about that person.
it's disrespectful to your client, to the guest. It's disrespectful to our listeners.
You got to know what they do, their past. You got to figure out what questions can we ask them, what we want to learn from them. And interviewing isn't it's a skill and it's not easy. And
Yeah.
I know I don't feel like I'm the best interviewer
We
at all. I'm sure I've grown a
we've both
lot,
come a
but
long way, right?
yeah,
Like those are some of our insecurities that we had to work through. It's like we're really talking with some of these leading experts. Like who the fuck
yeah,
do we think we are? We've had those conversations before,
hmm,
that imposter syndrome in a way.
yeah,
And onto that note too, Beth, about the interviewing, like that was when we were doing guests like every week
oh
and
yeah,
we started missing the connection that we had then too,
yeah,
right? The one-on-one connection
hmm,
that we had.
yep,
And so at the same time, yeah, it was like, we're like, let's take a break from this. We just missed shooting the shit with each other.
yeah,
Sure, we
yeah,
still do guests now, but they're not as frequent, and
right,
we've got some amazing guests lined up.
yeah,
But that was also like when we were when we had guests on every week, that that did start to take the enjoyment out a little bit because it did start to feel
hmm,
like more of a job for us at that
right,
point.
right. That's it.
And
Hmm.
that was also a period of immense growth for us too as a podcast.
Yeah.
That was when we we're not where we were back then, and then that makes sense. We don't have guests on, so we don't have people promoting it in that way for us and things like that. But we
Mhm.
were a consistent top 10 podcast during that time.
Yeah,
We hit as high as number 2, right?
we did for a
What
while.
the
We
fuck
were under
ever,
Mind
dude.
Pump.
Yeah, right under Mind Pump.
We were
That's
mind pumping it for a
insane. We
while.
were we were Mind Pump. I was like, "Yeah, we're coming from Mind Pump." Well, they get like millions of downloads, but
I know. Hey, but we were fucking crushing. It's
we were
not saying
crushing it.
we're not crushing now, but I think
We're still crushing,
our
just in a
focus,
different
we
way.
are. Our just focus is not like, let's get guests and let's make sure our fucking podcasts get top 10.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mhm, mhm.
So I'm also really horrible about even promoting our own podcast. I need to be better at
Same.
that. I mean, what the fuck is wrong?
We have this
I'm I'm
conversation with each other all the time.
I'm
Like, our
horrible at promoting anything. It comes to my own coaching, my own like challenges, even cookbooks. I struggle with
Yeah.
promoting.
Mhm.
I need to get over that. And I'm 5 years in, you know?
Right. Same.
Same for you, huh?
I'm not. I didn't get into this to be into marketing, right? I
Yeah.
didn't.
And that's what you got to do.
Right. And that's kind of like with a lot of changes that I had going on in my business recently too, right? Like, I didn't get into
Yeah.
this to run this big business and things like that. I just
Yeah.
want to fucking coach. I just want to help people.
Right. Right.
I don't want to worry about marketing, like hooks and all that shit. Like, that's part of the
Yeah.
reason why my content isn't performing very well, because I'm not wanting to like design catchy hooks and all these other things, and try to go
Mhm.
viral, because I've been there, done that, in my
Yeah.
in prime TikTok days, when I could just make pop off viral videos left and right. But that took the enjoyment out of it.
Virality is overrated.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I mean, it's because you can either hit the right crowd or you can hit the wrong crowd. And
And,
it's like,
if you're
all you
going
want to
viral, you're
do,
probably hitting the crowd that you don't want to hit.
it just, it takes a toll on your mental health.
Uh-huh.
100%. It's the huge dopamine hit and then the dopamine crash. It's like unexplainable.
I love that, because I mean, it is looking to go viral.
Right?
That is a dopamine seeking behavior. And that's one thing
Yes.
that
Yeah.
we work through with our clients, is like,
Mm-hmm.
let's get better ways to get that dopamine, right? Instead of
Oh,
trying to go
yeah.
viral when you don't have control over that, or like turning to food for dopamine.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do something that's going to be better for you, such as showing up for yourself when you don't want to, and going for a walk or getting your workout,
Right. Yep.
you know? I love that. I love how you mentioned the guest and everything too, Beth, because one of the reflection points I had was seasons of
Mm-hmm.
life, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And I think that's perfectly encaptures everything there. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, and this applies to our podcast for sure, our personal lives, and just everybody's health and fitness and personal lives
Yeah.
as well. Sometimes you're going to be on fucking fire.
Right.
You can't, and you're going to feel like you're on top of the world. Nothing can fuck with me right
Mm-hmm.
now. And sometimes you're going to be struggling, right?
Yeah.
That's just
Yep.
seasons of life. You need to adapt and pivot as you go.
Mm-hmm.
And what matters is keeping at it, doing
Yeah. See,
something.
we didn't quit. We
We
just
haven't
knew
quit
we
yet.
had to change something, and we knew what it was. We're like, we're done fucking interviewing for now. And it
Right.
was like, he's like, you are too. I'm like, fuck yeah. Okay,
We
good.
literally at the
It's like
same exact time.
I feel like that happened, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we're fucking. It was like a huge was
I
like, okay,
once we'd had that conversation, I was like,
yeah,
felt so relieved afterwards. And this isn't like,
right,
we love having guests, but
yeah.
it
That's
was
not about that, but yeah,
yeah, for sure. It was just like, yeah, let's
it
just get
got to
back
be
to
a
our
lot.
roots here. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Mhm. Mhm. Um
absolutely.
Yeah, so seasons of life, like,
Hmm.
we were consistently in the top 10 of fitness podcasts. Now we're not. That doesn't affect how we
I don't
show
even
up
know
for
where we
ourselves.
are. How do we even find our charts? I know
Well, the tool that we were using went away,
it did, didn't
the
it?
Chartable tool. So I don't know anymore. We use I just I look at because we host on Spotify, so we have Spotify analytics, but they don't have like rankings or anything like that. Plus, most of
Yep,
our listeners are on iTunes actually. Anyway,
got it.
so yeah, which it goes to all platforms.
Yeah,
But that has not changed, right? How we
yep,
show up for ourselves and for each other for the podcast.
yeah, exactly.
We take uh, we're taking the outcome out of the equation. We're not worried about the outcome. We're just worried about how we show up,
Yep,
and that's with
exactly.
consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Um,
Mm-hmm.
another one. Do you have anything that you wanna add in, like, any reflection points that have kind of popped up for you throughout all that?
I've just the whole interviewing process.
Mhm.
and being consistent. Those are the really top things that pop out for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even when we started scaling back from interviews,
Hmm.
we kind of said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to just have 2 guests on a month, and we're going to do 2 solo episodes. And I think we did that for maybe a month, and then
Yeah.
we just kind of naturally gravitated towards just you and me shooting the shit again.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah,
And then if a guest comes up, like say for instance, who we're having coming up soon, which is Dr. Nadolski.
next week,
And what's really cool about this whole thing of having him come on is that we didn't chase him down. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like we were reaching out to people a lot, which is also very like, I don't know.
intimidating, putting yourself out
Yes,
there.
it's like, hey, do you want to come on our podcast? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And so it just so happened that he started following me, and I took the opportunity at that point to be like, he's like, I love your content. We should chat sometime. And I was like, okay, yes. Can you want to come on our podcast? And he was a bucket list guest.
yeah,
So,
yeah. We created that bucket list at the beginning of our podcast, and he's on it.
and I feel like now it's better that we have him on now because there's more to talk about as with the GLP-1s,
The
which
conversation is
a
going to be so
year
relevant.
or so ago, it wasn't as much as it is now.
Yeah,
So everything happens for a reason.
exactly. Yeah, we can't rush it.
You
Can't
know,
rush it.
yeah. Hmm.
Because remember, he had originally agreed to come on the podcast a while back. You remember that?
No.
He had, and then for one reason or other, we just weren't able to connect. So
Yeah.
now it's kind of come full circle. The
Yep.
time is right now.
Yep.
And it's going
Exactly.
to be awesome. We're really looking forward to that. That episode's coming out next week.
Okay.
Sweet. Here's another one for me. For us, honoring your commitments to yourself, those
Yeah.
non-negotiables. We talked about non-negotiables on our Q&A episode last week a little bit. How do you
Yep.
stick to your non-negotiables, right? So my
Yes.
example here is how we have not missed a single fucking episode the entire time that we've been doing this podcast since we made this commitment to
Dude.
ourselves, right? And there's been times, right, where we've had to scramble to make sure we got an episode out that week. We've had to record
Hmm.
2 or 3 episodes at one time to make sure we had episodes ready to go.
Yeah.
There's even been times when this just happened this year when we were late on an episode because I was traveling. Remember, I was traveling to Florida to see you, and I think
Yeah.
I accidentally scheduled the podcast to release, I think, at 5 p.m. at night instead of 5 a.m. in the morning or something like that.
Right. Right. And
Or
people,
whatever it was.
didn't we have people like be like, where is?
Yeah, yeah. They're like, I just thought it was me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then there's also been times, Beth, when I've been like just so busy that Friday morning, when I wake up first thing in the morning, that's when I publish the episode at like 6 or
Hmm.
7 o'clock in the morning too.
Yep.
Even though 5 a.m. is our release time, sometimes we just don't hit that for one reason or another.
Yep.
It doesn't stop us from doing it and releasing the episode.
Right.
And that's what I want people to take away from that is going back to the doing it messy. Sometimes you're gonna make mistakes. Sometimes you're gonna miss deadlines. Sometimes you're
Mm.
gonna fall off track.
Right.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
If it's a non-negotiable for you, if it's important to you, you'll find a fucking way. You'll do it
Hmm.
late. You'll scale it back. You'll find a way to pivot. It doesn't matter. If it's important to you and you made that commitment to yourself, honor that commitment to yourself.
Yes. Exactly.
And that's what we've done.
100%. Yep.
That's what we've done. Here's another one.
Okay.
And I think you're probably going through this a lot right now with your social media content and menopause nerdle is you can't help
Mm.
everyone. No matter that's our goal is we want to help everyone,
Yeah.
but some people just don't want to hear what we have to say, what you have to say, even though they need to hear it. Maybe they're just not
Yeah.
in that stage of their life.
They hear what
Maybe
they want to hear.
they hear what they want to hear. That's evident with
Big
you and your
one. That's a big
menopause
one.
talks right now, right? You're talking about
Yeah.
people not needing supplements and things like that, and people are like, "How dare you say you don't need HRT?" Blah blah blah. It's like you're not talking
I
about
mean,
that.
I think maybe people don't understand that HRT is not a supplement.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay. Well, it's a
But
fucking
that's the
pharmaceutical.
problem, right? Because we have medical doctors out there
I
promoting this.
That's the thing. And you also
Yeah.
have people like coaches that are promoting this kind of stuff
Yes.
that shouldn't be.
Yes.
That's why, I never talk about that stuff. I never talk about prescriptions, drugs, because it's not in my wheelhouse.
It's outside
Why
of our
would
scope of
I?
fucking practice.
But it is scientific, evidence-based facts that your diet and your lifestyle will 100% help you with your menopausal transition. Okay. But that doesn't mean it's going to be null and void of any symptoms. But it's going to make it a lot easier for you instead of trying to take care of the shitstorm amongst your fucking heavy drinking, your sleepless nights, your anxiety, your lack of fucking movement, and your shitty diet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's just be real here.
There's no supplement that's going to fix that.
And you can't start out with supplements. And most of you start out with the supplements rather than fixing the other shit first.
Yeah.
It's like, come on,
Mm-hmm. Put the cart before the horse, right?
You got to focus on what you can control and get help with the shit that you can't. It's just as simple as that. It's not simple though.
It's not.
The application isn't simple. I can
the
say
idea
this
is simple, but putting it together, putting it into action is not easy.
Right.
That's what I would say. Simple, not simple.
Yeah.
It's simple, not easy.
And you can't tell me that you were in a calorie deficit for a fucking year, okay, and that you gained 15 pounds out of nowhere. I got this in my DM today, okay, and she said it was not my fault that I gained 15 pounds of belly visceral fat. So I decided to take HRT with microdosing a GLP-1. I shit you not. And my belly fat is going away, and I got rid of the inflammation. I said, yeah, because you were in a fucking actual calorie deficit.
The GLP helped them get into a calorie deficit.
Yeah. And what are we doing? What are we doing? Microdosing a GLP-1 with fucking HRT, thinking that's your ticket to a 10-pound weight loss. That's where I can't handle this shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yeah. And that's definitely going to be a good topic for us to talk about next week with Dr.
Oh, I can't wait. I want him to deep dive into this new microdosing
We
GLP-1.
need a good 10 hours with him.
And this is the same person that was like, I was in a calorie deficit and it doesn't work for visceral fat like the GLP-1 did.
Like, no, you weren't.
You cannot make this shit up.
You cannot be you were not in a calorie deficit for a year and gained weight. Like,
guess who says that though?
A certain menopausal influencer.
MCH. Remember when she was talking about the fucking belly fat, visceral fat? You cannot get rid of it with a calorie deficit. Okay.
Yeah. While that video really pissed me off that you stitched of hers, where she's showing like $1,200 worth of supplements.
Oh my God.
You're in menopause. Like, yeah, you need $1,200 of supplements because you're in menopause. Come on.
Do you know what? I do not want my menopausal journey to look like that. If you do, that's fine. We all have a different menopausal journey, and you could choose which route you want to take. But I want to take the bad bitch route.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to take I'm wearing a fucking weighted vest and I have 800 supplements in my house, and that kind of thing. No, It's not going to be my identity. Like, people are making menopause their fucking identity.
Is that why you reposted our video the other day about diet? Your diet's not your identity?
Yeah, I mean, I'm also saying, like, your menopause is not your identity. It is not your rite of passage.
This is a stage of your life.
Yeah, it's not a disease. It's not a fucking cancer.
People act like it is.
Yeah.
I'm fucked, right? Life's over.
And we should be empowering women, not making them feel like they're out of control and that they actually can't control what they can control.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to sell a supplement, to push a supplement, than to change someone's behaviors and habits.
It is. It is. I work with a few guy clients, but most of my clients are women, and they're menopausal women. And what you're saying is so true. And just like with you too, right? And your clients, we share an identical kind of audience.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Menopausal women. Every woman that's in my program is perimenopause or has gone through menopause. And they're, for the first time in their life, seeing results by doing, like you say, the boring basic shit, this foundational stuff. They're increasing their steps. They're strength training. They're building muscle. They're eating. They're crushing their fiber. They're crushing their protein. They're actually in a calorie deficit. They're working on their mindset and their health. Their habits.
Yeah, which is huge.
Complicated.
No. I mean, I'm here, 52 fucking years old, prepping for a bikini photo shoot, and I'm losing fat every week at a rapid fucking pace. Okay, and you know why? It's because I'm fucking consistent as fuck. Yeah. It's not because I'm in menopause, or you know what I'm saying? Like that is not stopping me.
Yeah,
I have bad days.
Everybody has bad days, right?
Yeah. But I
can't let that bad day become a bad week. That's where people get it wrong with the I'm in a calorie deficit for a year. No, you weren't. You were trying to be in a calorie deficit for a year.
Okay,
being in a calorie deficit for a year and actually being in a calorie deficit for a year versus trying to be in a calorie deficit for a year are completely different things. If you're not consistent, if you're consistently throwing in the towel on the weekends, you're letting one bad day become 2 bad days. You're letting one untracked day become 3 untracked days. You're getting a case of the fuck arounditis, the woe is me. you're not accounting for those things when you're in that calorie deficit for a year.
Right?
So you think.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. So yeah, my other point to that then was we cannot control how other people react or behave, right? So you can't control
Mhm.
how people interpret your message, even though like you've been saying, are you smarter than a sixth grader? Because
That's my new
um,
line, Matt. Are you
yeah.
smarter than the 6th grader? I
Well,
don't
there was a
fucking
TV
think so.
show about that,
Is it,
and
and I think isn't that a fact though that I don't
well,
know how many percent of
yeah.
Americans are actually not smarter than a 6th grader, and
This
it's
isn't to
actually kind of
disparage
sad.
anybody, y'all. This is a
You
fact.
guys, this
Like
is pure fact, and
our
it's embarrassing.
scientific literacy and reading abilities are below that of a sixth grader as a general
Yeah.
population, and that's really fucking disheartening. It's really
Mhm.
scary. It is really scary,
Yeah.
and we have control over that. We have control over our own actions. We can't control how other people respond to our actions, to the things we do, the things we say, but we can control what we're putting into our body, what we're eating. We
Mhm.
can control our thoughts. It's hard.
Action.
We control our actions, right? Behaviors,
Mhm.
habits. We control all
Yep.
those things.
I know.
So along those lines, another reflection point I had. This is a good way to move into this one. Some of our most popular episodes are also some of our most sensitive subjects, right?
Mm.
So alcohol and menopause are very very sensitive subjects, but they're also some of our best performing episodes in terms of
Mhm.
downloads. But they're also our most controversial, and that's because not everyone is ready to hear the truth,
Mhm.
right? Not ready to hear the truth about menopause and not ready to hear the truth about alcohol. That's the alcohol
Mhm.
one especially gets a lot of shit. We get a lot of shit
Yeah.
for that one.
Yeah.
Um, because we want to justify our own oh, that doesn't apply to me. That's not me. That's it's I'm
Mhm.
not that's I'm the exception to the rule, right? Alcohol's
Yeah.
not that big of a role in my life.
Mhm.
Or I've tried everything. I've been in a calorie deficit for a year. It's my menopausalness, right? Whatever people want to call it.
Yeah.
Um
Menopause caused me to gain 15 pounds overnight. I didn't do this.
mm,
Well, someone did because guess what? Calories are energy. You cannot create energy from nothing. It doesn't just poof come out of the fucking air.
yeah. Yeah.
You
And I
know?
want to say too, like that 15 pounds too, maybe they would have gained that 15 pounds in the before menopause, but their body just would have stored that fat differently too, right? So
Yeah.
menopause can impact like where your body fat is being stored. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a fact, but on its own, it isn't going to make you gain fat or gain weight or anything like that.
Right. Right. Yep.
And that's also like one of the important things about strength training is too, because strength training can help to promote lower levels of visceral fat, which is the harmful fat,
Mhm.
the fat that we do want to get rid of.
Yep.
So that impacts where it's stored when you are in a calorie surplus.
Yep.
People love no bullshit hard truths until the hard truth is something they aren't ready or willing to accept.
Mhm.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
Those were kind of my reflection points that I jotted down. That was a really good kind of conversation there. Do you have anything else to add on to that? You had a lot of good stuff to add on to that.
I don't not that I can think of.
Putting you on the spotlight, Nerdle.
I love that. Oh my god, Matt came so prepared and here I am. I just show up. He's like interviewing me. I don't know what to
We've done that before though, where we've interviewed each other,
we
I think.
have. We
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
I don't really I can't think of anything to add. Maybe I will in a bit, but
Yeah, for sure.
you said it all
Um,
so well.
yeah, right. And I think too, we kind of alluded to this too, but it's like we're real and we're raw. We're people are gonna know what's going on with us. So like I
Yeah.
would say like the behind the scenes stuff that no one sees, but I mean we just talked about it, like the burnouts, um,
Mhm.
the tech failures. Like we've had a lot of tech problems in our
Yeah.
days. Those things can all just contribute to you to saying fuck it and getting frustrated and not wanting to do the damn thing. But
I mean, yeah, like, exactly, like, let's see, construction going on with me, and where I'm recording. I mean, I've come on here before and I've had many a crying sessions. Maybe family things going on with my husband, my son, the fucking office not being ready.
same.
You know, menopause rage, whatever it may be.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Have you learned anything about yourself, Nerdle, these last 200 episodes?
I learned anything about myself.
That's a hard question to put you on the spotlight.
Yeah. That I actually am a podcaster.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't, I don't know. Like
That well, that
I
you're worthy
think,
of yeah.
yeah, that sometimes, yeah, I just don't even, I love what I do so much. Sometimes I don't really realize the impact that we both make. I
Yeah.
guess that's what I'm trying to really say is
Okay.
like,
Uh-huh.
I don't really realize how many people we reach with this podcast. And
Yeah.
it's quite a lot. And it's very humbling, I guess, is the thing, I'm trying to say. I don't know.
That's so true. I know when
You
we've had
know?
our some of our toughest days, that's we always get like a conveniently timed comment or DM or
Yeah,
review or something, and that just reminds us like why the fuck we're doing what we're doing.
exactly.
And I
Yep.
think too, with us showing up when we're struggling and when things are messy and hard for us, I
Hmm.
think what we're doing too is giving our community, our listeners, our clients permission to show up in that way as well when things
Yeah.
are on fire around them.
Hmm.
I've shared my own struggles on here. You've shared your own struggles on here.
Hmm.
And that too makes people feel um, like they're not alone.
Yeah.
You're not alone, and that's the biggest thing in this health and fitness journey is having that support, and so many times people just feel isolated, and feel alone, like there's nobody else going through the things that they're going through. Um,
Exactly.
so, like with this podcast, we've created truly a community. With our podcast, with our own separate coaching platforms, and everything kind of
Hmm.
how everything's kind of intertwined.
Yep. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think the podcast has really changed me as a coach for the better too.
Hmm.
Just being in the trenches and really understanding empathy a lot more, and understanding human nature, behaviors,
Yeah.
thoughts, emotions a lot better. Whether it's through our interviews that we've done with
I was gonna
people, our
say,
listeners.
yeah, us learning so much from the people that we come on here. It's
Yeah.
definitely made us better coaches, bosses, significant others, everything.
We have a desire, we have a hunger to grow and like to
Yeah.
learn.
Yep.
We're the first to admit that we don't know everything, and I
Mm-mm.
don't want to know everything either. If I'm the smartest person in the room, that's a fucking problem. I don't want to be
Yeah.
the smartest person in the room. I want to surround myself with people that are smarter than me, have more experience than
Yeah.
me,
Always
are more
learning.
educated than me, more knowledgeable than me, right? Because that's
Hmm.
how you learn. That's how you grow.
Yep.
Um, and you can pass that on to other people with the way that we do things with community, with coaching, being on this
Exactly.
podcast here. Knowledge
Yep.
is power. I think
Hmm.
that requires that growth mindset, right?
Yeah.
Admitting like I don't know shit. You know, the smartest people
Hmm.
in the world will tell you that they don't know anything in the grand scheme of
Yeah.
things. You know,
I literally know nothing. Every day I'm like, I know fucking nothing.
and that should and
I
that
mean,
should really
seriously,
yeah.
I do.
And that
And
takes a
I laugh.
smart
I'm like,
fucking person to admit that. It
yeah.
does. And I think too, if we can apply that right there to people like the menopause influencers, all these health and fitness influencers who act like they know fucking everything, who know
Hmm.
all the answers, right?
Yeah.
There's something called the Dunning-Kruger effect, you know?
Hmm. Yep.
And if you think you're the smartest person, if you think you know everything, you're fucking wrong.
Hmm.
And I'm happy to admit that I don't know everything, and I've been
Yeah.
wrong about
Gladly.
things in the past, and I will be wrong about things in the future, and I welcome it because that's how you learn and that's how you grow.
Exactly. 100%.
Pro show. Um,
Okay.
so talking about then some of the people that we've helped that we don't realize that we've helped. So you want to talk about that a little bit because we did a little fun thing in the Facebook group for our
Hmm.
community here for part of this episode.
Yeah.
We went into our Facebook group, Cut the Crap with Beth and Matt. Fitness for Everybody is the name. We've had a lot of
Hmm.
people joining it this last week since we mentioned it on the podcast last week,
Yeah.
and we've had a lot more people join the Patreon too since we mentioned it on the air last week.
Oh, nice.
Imagine that. We
Right.
mentioned it, and
Right.
hey, we have this cool thing that we can help you with. Come check it out.
Yep.
So yeah, you want to go through some of the ways that people have let us know we've helped them? I think there's some really
Yeah.
powerful comments in here.
Let's do it.
Okay. You want me to? Do you have the post open? If not,
I'm
I can start reading through them.
yeah, you start because I'm opening it right now. I'm trying to
Okay, cool.
get to it.
So I'll pick one first. This one is from Amy. We already mentioned Amy once. Amy Carlin.
Hmm.
So this is also awesome promotion, I guess, for our Patreon.
Oh,
She
yes.
said, "Your Patreon workouts have changed my life." And Amy has been doing our Patreon workouts for years now. and she's gotten so strong.
Yes.
Her body
Amy's,
has
we get
changed.
to
Her
meet
body
her
composition has
soon.
changed, and we get to meet her soon. So she said, "Your Patreon workouts have changed my life. Also, your podcast was the first one I've ever been a guest on. You
Hmm.
both encouraged me to just go for it when I told you I was thinking about doing a podcast of my own, and I took your advice and went for it. You both are down to earth, knowledgeable, and approachable, and I'm so excited to meet you guys in person in July."
Woohoo! We
Talk
are
about taking
excited
action and
too.
taking messy action and not having a fucking plan,
Yes.
right? Amy is that I want to highlight that. Amy, everything we just talked about here in the episode about taking
Hmm.
messy action. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't even need a plan. You just need to get started and do something.
Yeah.
And that's what Amy has done.
Hmm.
And that's why one of the reasons why we got her on as a guest, I think it was last year or something like that, was to honor that, and really get to know her as a person, and really
Yeah.
excited for her that she started that podcast, I think with a coworker or something like that. I've listened to
Yeah.
1 or 2 episodes, so really exciting.
I would have to say that you're really not an introvert, Amy.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that.
I think you're becoming more of an extrovert.
Hmm. That's because of that growth and just doing it scared,
You know
right?
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Putting
Yeah.
yourself out there, making yourself vulnerable.
I think her podcast is called Just an Introvert Podcast. If
Is
I'm
it?
not correct, I think
Let's look.
so.
Let's look.
But Amy even crushes her own content. She's a
Yeah.
music teacher, and she makes the
Hmm.
best stuff.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not even in grade school, and she's funny.
Yeah. It's her podcast is Just an Introvert Podcast.
I knew
Yep.
it.
Yep. Look
See,
at that.
I don't. I think you're more than an introvert. Maybe you're an introvert extrovert.
I identify as an introverted extrovert.
Same. I
Yeah.
am complete. I will shut down after this podcast.
Yeah, because it takes a lot of energy for an introvert to be extroverted and do these things. That was part of the reason why the interviewing was taking its toll on us,
I think
right?
so. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so. It's very energy draining for me,
yeah,
and it made
totally.
me not to want to do other things because it was a
Hmm.
lot.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. So thanks, Amy. Really, Amy's been, I think, a member of our Patreon since day one, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken.
Yes,
Awesome. Did you find the post?
I did. I'll read
Cool.
Sarah Freer, who's above Amy's. I
Okay.
love your podcast. When I found it, I literally binged episodes for weeks until I couldn't, and now I wait for it every week. I love that. You guys were coaching me before I became one of your clients. Matt, I am so thankful. The raw, honest, and no bullshit approach has helped me quit making excuses and work hard towards reaching my goals. Love you both.
I love that. And I'm working with Sarah recently, one-on-one with mindful eating and getting strong as fuck and
Nice.
and running. So shout out to Sarah here. It's funny. I looked back at some of our exchanges that we had like via email a couple of years
Uh
ago
huh.
before she was like really ready to start putting this stuff into action. So that's just
Yep.
shows you like just continue showing up and continue like trying, and eventually it's going to stick. Eventually
Yeah.
it's going to turn around for you.
Absolutely.
But you have to keep
Absolutely.
showing up.
I know. Keep
Hmm.
showing up.
Awesome. Proud of you, Sarah. Thank you for the comment. I love that.
Right?
Cool. I'm gonna take this one because I want to read this one to you because
Okay.
the relevance here to your own journey here, Beth. This one's from Shannon, from our Facebook group, Shannon Morrow. She said, "Hearing Beth's sobriety story last year when she was celebrating 9 years is what really
Mm,
got me thinking about my own relationship with alcohol. Then I started finding episodes that you guys have done about alcohol. I joined an online community to help me cut back. I kept listening to the podcast and hearing what you all would say about alcohol and how it affects our bodies, but I was still drinking. I had slowed down for sure. Every time y'all shared on your podcast or on your socials about alcohol, it sunk in
mm-hmm.
further. May 5th, 2025 was the last time I drank. It's been 43 days today. I
Hell
really
yeah.
Hell yeah. I really believe that it
Hell
was
yeah.
Beth's honesty about her relationship with alcohol and other podcasts that you all have done that helped me get to this point. Anytime I have any doubt, I listen to the episode with Danny Matranga. That one always helps
Mm-hmm.
me remember why I don't want to drink alcohol anymore. That's
Nice.
incredible. That's
Yep.
incredible. So proud of
That's
you,
awesome.
Shannon.
So proud of you. That honestly, so incredible.
Yeah. And I want to shout her out too. I'm actually working with Shannon one-on-one as well here recently, and to be part of her journey and see her growth, it's been just truly incredible.
That is so cool.
And it
Yeah.
really just serves as that reminder, like this is why we're
Yeah.
doing what we're doing. We are changing lives, and it's real shit, and that's fucking like a testament to itself.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, way to go, Shannon. Thank you for the comment.
Woohoo! Laura Palladino. You are both so knowledgeable. I think she just signed up for one-on-one coaching with us. I think she's currently in our challenge and just signed
Nice.
up for one-on-one. Yeah. Stop
Awesome.
overthinking and mind your plate. So true, just to stay in my own lane. Amazing guests like Dr. Jessica Nurek and
Yeah.
such a great variety of topics. Congrats on your episode 200. You guys are awesome. Dr. Jessica Nurek, I have to say that we are really fucking lucky we got her when we did.
Because she's really blown
She
up
is
too.
on to really fucking incredible things, and I would not be surprised if at one point she is working in the White House.
I
That
would
is
not.
that is exactly the person we need. Every time she comes up, I'm like, God damn, take JFK's job because you are way more, whatever the word is, menopause brain.
Knowledgeable,
Thank you.
the real
Whatever you
world
are.
experience, knowledge,
She
and she understands like the real issues at hand, the social determinants of health.
systemically, do you know
Yeah,
what I'm
the
saying? Like
systemic issues, the food environment stuff,
she knows where
right?
it stems from. She even has ideas on how to fucking fix it.
She was
Um,
she met with like I can't remember which senator she met with.
Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren, is that who it was?
Yep,
Um,
I think so.
I
A
think
couple of she's been at the White House a few times.
I'm sorry, I don't know the name. I didn't know about Elizabeth Warren. It was one of our she was African American. I don't know which senator it was, but I remember she met with her. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else that met with her, but
She's met with a few other
she's
people,
met.
so
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know.
Yeah,
She gave a history lesson on like how science like got how it's where it started and how it's shifted with different regimes and authoritarianism. And I didn't really realize that like Einstein and a couple other people were kind of like bashed and stuff with when it comes to like being in Germany and Hitler and
we look
all
at them
that.
now as like these
It's like it's
really.
happening
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
which is frightening. And she gave the whole history lesson behind it and how it's like what it looks like now.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
it's like, wow,
Yeah.
how did you put that together, eh? She did a video, a reel on it, and then she wrote a whole Substack article on it.
Nice. I'll have to
I
subscribe to her
mean, she's
Substack.
absolutely incredible. I don't think I've ever learned so much from one person about a subject that is pretty hard. When you think about it, political mixed with
It's
nutrition,
very complex.
it's very complex, and she kind of breaks it down so the normal person can understand
Right.
what's going on and
And
what's
again,
happening.
I shouldn't say again, but this is when she got brought on, we caught flack for it because we probably lost listeners because people wanted to like talk about the political
Oh,
aspect. But this isn't
right.
this isn't a left or a right side thing. Like these are the things she talks about, the real things that are
These are
impacting
issues that
people.
we have that
Yes.
are affecting American people.
Yeah. I don't care which side addresses these things. I just want somebody to address them. Like that's who
Yes.
gets my vote.
Right,
Hmm.
exactly.
Hmm.
At this
For sure.
point, let's get us someone good in the office. I don't give a fuck what side you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Little rant aside there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome
What else
comment.
we do, Matt?
Yeah,
It wouldn't
side
be cut
rant,
the crap if we had a
little
little
range.
side rant going on, huh?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
so
saying?
true, so true. This is a fun one. A fun comment from Catherine here. She said, Catherine Lynn Scott. She said, "Love that you both just put the bullshit excuses of getting healthy on the table to debate. Many get lost in the weeds of diet and exercise rules, and you two eliminate the confusion. Helps keep me motivated to keep putting in the boring work when I see a new shiny program. I also appreciate that you guys can debate both of your opinions, such as tracking as a diet or not, and be civil. Not much of that nowadays. Personally, I have given up the fear of diet beverages, and I make room for all foods. Less stress and more food freedom this way.
Let's
Thank you for what you
go.
do." I love that. Yeah, I remember when we had that little debate about that. That was when I was on my kick about, people abusing calorie tracking and how they're making it
Yeah.
into a diet, right? And you were like, "Matt, what the fuck? Like, no, it's not." And I'm like, "Okay, well, we talked about it on air." And
Yeah, we
I
did.
agree.
With the Did we talk about it with Mel?
Yes, I think we did talk about it with Mel, right?
I think so.
Yeah, for sure. Coach Mel. God love her.
Mel, right?
Yep, yep. Cool. You wanna grab a comment here?
Yeah. All right. So, Tracy Lanferman, I love that you talk about food and exercise in a way that is engaging and understandable. F bombs resonate with me.
Fuck
Talking
yeah.
about the hard things in a way that people can relate to is important.
I love that.
That
Love
is
that.
key. We do talk to people and how we relate to people because we are people. We're people for the people, right? Is that what would we say?
Real fitness for real people. We're
Yeah.
people for the people.
We're people for the peeps, you know? I
Love it. Yes. Because that also like we started talking about that like real fitness for real people when we
Yeah.
were doing the guests and stuff. We're like, we don't because we get requests, get all kinds of bullshit guests on here all the time, right?
Yeah.
We get people's publicists emailing us and people's assistants. Like, no, if you want to come on our podcast, you fucking email us. We're not going to talk to your assistant. We
No.
don't. We want to talk to you about real shit. If you can't even do that, you're not a real person.
That's the thing. If you reach out to us personally, like I'm more willing to get someone on here that reaches out to me. Like Natalia, she reached out to me and she was like, she told me exactly. She's like, I can't believe that I'm already following you, but I was listening to your podcast and I didn't realize it was you. And she was like, I would love to be on. And she gave, she just let me know why. And I'm like, sure, why not? Like, I'm already following you. And she's Miss Olympia. She has
from
some stuff to talk
2012.
about. And from 2012, and here I am in this bikini prep. I think it's would be
Relevant
good
timing.
to talk about severe dieting and getting out of that and, that kind of thing. And that how this is not for everyday peeps.
Right.
But I think anybody that reaches out to us has more of a chance. And if you have a fucking assistant or whoever your podcast producer,
we have brought on 0 people as a guest that have ever had their assistant.
I'm sorry.
email
And then
us.
you don't even follow us on the social media. Like
love your podcast, especially the episode about such and such. You don't even follow us, dude.
You never fucking listen to an episode.
Yeah.
You don't even know who we are.
Yeah.
So
you saw we had a podcast that's popular.
People for the people. You be for the people too.
People for the people. Rise up.
Okay.
Love it. Love it. So here's a comment. This is an awesome one. I love it. From Jackie Morris. OG listener here,
Jackie.
y'all.
I was gonna say Jackie. I know her. Yeah.
Hells yeah. Has she ever done any of your challenges? I think she has. I think
so.
She's done some of our programs as well. She's in our Fit Fat Strong right now. I have listened to your podcast from day one. I love you. Just tell it like it is. As you say, no BS. I love the connection you both have. It's endearing. Thank you. You are meant to meet for sure. 2 of my favorite episodes that make me LOL are, of course, the wilderness one. Talking about some of our reels we've done. My God, that was funny. Influencers in the wild, I think she's referring to.
Oh my God, that one.
And lifting heavy, but also the one where Beth was goblet squatting and you were her coach. It was in a weight room somewhere. I sent you that video this morning after I saw this comment.
Okay, that's the one.
Yeah, she said you were telling Beth she has to lift harder. I tried to find it as I know I have it saved on TikTok. Blah blah blah. Thank you both for completely changing my thoughts and actions to bettering myself. I'm in the process in the making, but in the other side, thanks to you both. Ever onward.
Love it.
Love it. Love it. And that was a fun video to make. And all the videos we made are fun, but they always have a good message behind them, especially the one with the weightlifting, because you were like goblet squatting and you were doing like 1,000 reps, right? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You're like, oh, my program called for 10 reps, but it wasn't hard enough, so I'm doing 20,
right. Oh my God, so that's so funny.
That's not how that works. Like, choose a weight that's going to challenge you and let you do 10 weights, 10 reps instead of using a lightweight for more reps.
Exactly.
I just talked about that yesterday with our clients about.
Did you?
Yeah, about challenging yourself. Like if it's easy, it's not strength training. If it's easy, it's not going to fucking force you to grow. It's not how you grow. That's not how you get stronger. It's not how you get better.
No.
Hell yeah. Thanks for the shout out, Jackie. And thanks for listening for 200 episodes now. Okay. You got one?
I don't know if there is anymore.
There's a few more.
Lori.
We got one from Curtis. There's Kayla.
Okay, Curtis.
Yeah.
Curtis Miller, Robust. Your podcast helped me realize that everything I knew before was bullshit. Before your podcast, I was living a lie. True story, Matt. You guys are the real deal. Thanks for doing what you do.
Love it. That's how we know, right? Like we mentioned earlier, like we want to help everybody, but we know we're not for everybody. But the people that need to hear it, that are ready to hear what we have to say, it resonates with them. And they take action.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Curtis. Proud of you, man.
Yeah.
And we have, let's see. We have Diane. I want to get her last name right. I follow her on like Strava. We're friends on Facebook as well, so I always see her crushing it. Diane
I want to say Zifra.
Zifra?
I don't know.
Sorry if I'm butchering it. We probably are. Let us know if we got
Diane
it right.
Zifra. Yeah.
I found Beth during COVID on TikTok, and then you and this podcast. I listen every week on my walks, which I now walk every day because of you guys. Let's go. I learned that I
Yeah.
don't need to do hours of cardio and no food is off limits. Has really helped me feel better and satisfied with how I go about my day. I don't need to be perfect, just consistent. Thank you. Love it. It's not about perfection. Perfection's
Mhm.
bullshit.
Mhm.
Love that. Great comment. So
Yes.
happy to be part of the part of your journey, Diane, and love that you're walking daily. That is one of those things. Like we're a walking podcast, right? At the end of the day, because we talk about it so
Right.
much and the importance of it so much. But to see somebody, just walking every day when they weren't before and how that improves their health, those are the things that people overlook. And I can promise you that a lot of those people that are going off on you in your menopause videos, they're not walking
Mhm.
every day. They're not hitting eight or 10,000 steps a day. They're not doing those things consistently.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
It's a
No.
damn good bet that they're not. Just seems so easy.
Mhm.
It's too good to be true. Walk every day.
Mhm.
Let's see here. We have Kayla Stoke Toby said, I love your podcast and all the info you guys give out. Thank you. Thank you, Kayla. Appreciate you. And then Kathleen, she said, I love to listen to your podcast on my Friday 6 a.m. walk. Congratulations. Hell yeah. I haven't realized, well, maybe I have realized, but a lot of people we're part of their walks every morning. We're part of
Yeah.
their non-negotiables that they have for themselves. So, on that note, that I can understand why, like when we don't release that episode, sometimes on 5 a.m. when we have made a few of those blunders, why people are like,
Yeah.
oh, well, where's everything at? Is everything okay?
Exactly. Yeah. That makes sense.
That's one of those things where we don't. It's not that we take it for granted, but we don't realize it
Right.
at
Right.
first. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. But yeah, that's most of the comments. That's all the comments there in Facebook, I think. Um, Thank you all for sharing your feedback and how we've helped
Thanks,
you.
guys.
And let us know now after listening to the podcast, if you haven't already, let us know what
Mhm.
in what ways have we helped you? What ways have our podcasts helped you? What are your favorite guests? And also like maybe some
Yeah.
guests that you want to get on in the future because
Yeah.
we truly do just want to get the right people on to help
Yeah.
people with their journey,
Not just anybody,
not just anybody, yeah, for sure.
and it doesn't have to be someone that everyone knows. Like,
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like
like we want to get
those are
people
those people are honestly the most stressful.
yeah, right. We want to get
I mean,
people a
you know what
platform
I
that
mean? I'm
deserve
not
it.
trying to yeah, I think a lot of people
Whether they have
that
1,000
that
followers or 100,000 followers,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter.
I think a lot of people need a voice that haven't been given a chance to have a voice. Like my friend Renee Bellinger, who is an incredible health and habit behavior coach that we have on.
Mhm.
So many more people need to see her stuff because she's really good at what she does. And that kind of stuff doesn't fucking sell or it doesn't go viral. But it's the kind of content that really helps people. If you
Agreed.
actually take the time to actually watch it and listen to what she has to say, it's just like people like that, um, that really know what the fuck they're doing and they're doing their best to try to get their stuff out there.
Yeah,
I really want to help those people more.
I agree.
you
Well,
know?
a good
Yeah.
good example of that, is our buddy James Capola, right? Like, we had him
Hmm.
on the podcast before he blew up.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of people on before they blew up, but, like, he came on, he was just getting started, I think, online as an online fitness coach after being in person
Yeah.
for so many years, and now he's got, like, 500,000 followers or something and is really blowing up.
Yeah.
Same with, like, Zach Cohen was pretty big before he ever came on, but,
Hmm.
think people like that, people that really deserve to have
Right.
their voice amplified, they have good messages.
Yeah.
We wanna put those people in front of the right audience.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly, Matt.
Exactly. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, you know what? One thing that, I wanna not address, but, like, just shine light on too is I never thought that I would be somebody that has a sponsor or that works with a company. I think I probably early on in my journey, I
Mhm.
remember making videos like, "I'm never gonna be sponsored or have a code or anything like that," but here we are with a
Ah,
podcast. Well, I mean, we're
yeah.
sponsored by Cured Nutrition, but that really
Yeah.
first of all, it shows growth. Like we came into that with an open mind. Like we were willing to change our opinion, but it also like these are products that we really love too. So and we
Mhm.
don't like you said earlier about that the Hume. You're not affiliated with them, but you like that product, and that's
Yeah.
what it's all about too.
And,
Um,
and here's the thing with when I'm talking about Hume, like if
yeah,
you want to buy it, purchase it. But I just got it, so I have nothing to tell you about it. Like,
yeah,
don't
it's
ask
a
me
cool new
like
toy for you right now.
should you get it? Do I need it? Please,
Mhm.
you don't need it. but it's good to have if you want it. If you
Sure.
ask me, I wouldn't normally just pay $200 for something like my watch. I was like, what kind of watch is that? I want to get one like that. No, you don't. It's an overpriced fucking Garmin. Okay.
Mhm.
You see, in our business, I got to write shit off. I, so it's like, what, and what can I'll get a Hume. That's 200
Mhm.
bucks, because
Yeah.
if I don't do that, the IRS is going to get it somehow. So, like it's like you don't necessarily need this shit. It's extracurricular shit.
Right.
Okay,
It's a
right?
want and not a need. It's a
It's
nice to have,
not
not a must
making or
have.
breaking my life right now. It is cool data. And right now, for what I'm going through, it's even cooler. But I'm sure after this whole thing, I probably won't use it as much.
Sure.
I don't even know. You know what I mean? So
It's one
let's
of those
not
cool
go
tools.
overboard with the DMs asking me about that shit because I know that
Yeah,
happens. I
for
know.
sure.
I'm just like, fuck my life, man.
Uh-huh.
Like, open a
But yeah,
fucking
I agree. And
Pandora's box.
that is something, obviously we're sponsored by Cured Nutrition. So that's something,
Yeah.
that we don't take lightly. And I think that does come with great responsibility. And that's why we don't just promote everything and anything out there.
Hmm.
But I do want to just give them a quick shout out because they are running a really cool special
Yeah.
right now. And also side note, I love the flow gummies. I take those before my long runs, my hard workout runs, and they help keep me focused. And my
Hmm.
client, Sarah, she's the one that left with that comment earlier that you read out. She's training for 5K right now, improving her running,
Hmm.
and she's taken off 3.5 minutes of her 5K in the
Damn.
last couple of months. And she just recently started using Flow before her workouts and before her runs. And she
Hmm.
said that I've definitely noticed a difference in how I feel and my focus and everything for the workouts too.
Nice.
So it's not just like me promoting something here, but
Right.
our clients love it too, and people that are listening are loving these products too. And they're having a really cool um, special right now. They're calling it the Serene Summer.
Yeah.
So right now you can, and this is until from June 17th. We talked about this last week. From June
So, yep.
17th until June 24th, you can get up to 30% off with our code on all their products, like Cured or not Cured, Serenity gummies, Flow gummies, nightcaps, whatever it might be,
Hmm.
whatever you want to check
And
out.
are they out of the sob still?
I'm not sure if they're out of the salve.
That's one of my faves. I use that,
I still
especially
use
if you
it.
you have
It
teen kids. Like my son is super active right now, and it's actually helped him a lot with some because he's in jujitsu and he has these little injuries here and there, and like
helps with the inflammation and the
it
pain.
really does,
Yeah,
and he'll now ask me for it if he's got some kind of ache or something. So
nice.
I
Yeah.
love that shit.
So check that
Yeah,
out too. I have my one client, Kristen. She's always beating herself up with because she does a lot of intense workouts and stuff. So she's always got
yeah,
aches and pains, and she loves it. She swears by the salve too. And Sarah likes to use it, my girlfriend, for her inflammation that she has in her body with
yeah,
like her fibro that she has.
yeah.
Lot of good uses for it. But
Yep.
long story short, they're having a really cool special until June 24th. Up to
Nice.
30% off site wide on other products, and you get like I'm showing this right now, like people can see this, but
Oh,
when you
Matt, hold
first
on up. I'm gonna take a picture for our little.
oh,
There
it's
you go.
blurry. It's blurry. Here,
Well,
let me
turn off
change my
your.
let me turn my background off here.
There you
There
go.
we go.
Oh shit.
Cheese.
Oh, I was Beth. Hold the fucking finger, bitch.
Look at us cutting a promo right now.
We are.
Anyway, you get a free 10 pack of Serenity gummies when you purchase anything on their site right now, which is a $15 value.
Yeah.
So you can do that, curenutrition.com/CTC, if you want to check that out. So this is a great time to stock up and get some good deals. Love their products. Um, I can't believe, Nerdle, that we're 200 episodes into it. This has been a fun episode, kind of reflecting.
Yeah.
Um, and here's to the next 200 episodes. And
Here's to the next 200.
we're coming up on our 4-year anniversary too. So that's sometime in August.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Crazy.
We're gonna probably do some Patreon stuff for that.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely have to.
Meet and greet.
Let's shout out meet and greet
Coming
really
up
quickly. Yeah.
July 12th, 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
in San Diego, La Jolla,
Uh-huh.
Torrey Pines, and Matt's gonna finish wearing this.
Oh, I am?
If you listen to our podcast, you're gonna understand that this happens every time
Every
we talk
time.
about. I'm like, okay,
Yes.
Matt, where are we going?
But here
Where are
are the
we?
details. Okay.
Uh,
Like you said, it is July 12th, 2025 at Torrey Pines State Natural Reserve in La Jolla, San Diego. And you can RSVP to that with the link in our show notes and we'll be posting it on social media as well. I haven't checked recently, but we have a good crew, it looks like, showing up to come hang out with us, including Amy,
Yeah.
who
Yes.
we've
So
talked about
excited,
earlier.
Amy. We're
So
so
we love
pumped.
meeting everybody. This is one of the big reasons, like one of our big driving factors for us doing what we're doing is connection,
Hmm.
getting people involved, community, support. And that's what these meet and greets are all about, making fitness for everybody and getting people the support and community that they need. You know, whether that's inside of our Facebook group, inside of our Patreon, meeting up with us on these meet and greets. There's so many ways to accomplish that. So come
Yeah.
hang out with us. Come hike with us.
Do it.
Hell yeah.
All right.
So having said that, this has been a great episode. Hey, and listen, if our podcast has helped you guys in any way, one of the best things you can do to help us reach new people, to help us, continue to grow, maybe even we give you some hard truths or something, share it. Share it with a friend that needs to hear it. Leave us a review on iTunes, on Spotify, whatever it might be. Give us a 5-star rating if you like it. We have definitely caught some trolls in the past, people that don't agree with what we have to say, that like to give us bad ratings. So if you like us,
Hmm.
you can help balance it out a little bit. Sharing it with a friend, telling a friend is one of the best things you can do for us, though.
Yeah.
That's how we can continue to cut the crap and
Yeah.
build this strong community and make fitness for everybody.
Hmm.
Hells yeah. It was a
Hells
great
yeah.
episode. And Erdl, I'm so happy to be doing this with you. I'm
Same,
looking forward to
Nerdle.
another couple hundred episodes and beyond, many more years.
Yeah.
Last week's, just really quickly, how one of the questions was about how we're like our favorite traits about each other, and like we
That
started
was
talking
my
about how
favorite.
like
Yeah.
we're siblings, and people were like, "Yeah, I agree. Like you guys seem like siblings, and you definitely have that
Uh-huh.
relationship." And I agree.
Same.
Wouldn't be doing this with any other fucking nerdle out there.
I know. Same.
All
Agree.
right, awesome.
All right.
All right.
Bye,
Well,
guys.
we'll
Thanks for being
chat with you
here.
later. Yes, thank you. We'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed this episode, so why not share with a friend who needs to hear it? Send us a DM on Instagram or email us at cutthecrappod@gmail.com and join our Patreon at patreon.com/cutthecrappodcast. As always, we appreciate you and thanks for being here.